So I'm here at the Moteti waterhole. No, Motopi waterhole. We are here at the Motopi waterhole at the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, and you will never believe that we are so lucky to be with none other than the manager of the Central Kalahari Game Reserve. Can you tell me again your name? Can you say that again slowly?
Ntsebe.
Ntsebe.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to write that one down. And I'm just gonna have to dream up some good questions, because a chance such as this one, does not happen every day. So let me just put this camera on the tripod.
You can take a picture for the Motopi tree. This is the Motopi tree.
Oh yeah,
That one.
we are surrounded by Motopi trees actually. Okay, so we're gonna do an interview while we're having vegetarian sausages for dinner. And let me take off the polarized lens, because I think we don't need a polarizer. I'm recording this. My hand is invading the entire scene, and my voice is probably so loud in the microphone. So you were telling me that you studied abroad, right? You studied in Colorado.
Colorado State University.
Colorado.
Fort Collins.
And you did the master's degree there. On what?
Natural Resource Management. And an interdisciplinary study program in conservation biology.
And you were there for 5 years.
Yeah.
A master's and also a.
They call it an interdisciplinary study program.
Okay.
Or a minor. We call it a minor here as well. In conservation biology.
And then afterwards you returned to Botswana. Was it a scholarship from the government?
Yes, I was funded by the government. After I finished my first year and second year at University of Botswana.
In the University of Botswana. And how come they chose you? Why did they choose to?
No, after you finish your second year, you decide what you want to do. But for those courses that are not offered in Botswana, you get the opportunity to send where you can find them. So in my case, I went to the United States. I could have as well gone to Canada. I went to Canada, but I went to the United States.
That's where he learned to pronounce Mexico.
Yeah, because I had some few guys from Mexico who were playing football with them at the university.
Okay. And then when you returned, how did you come to be the manager of the Central Kalahari Game Reserve?
No, I just applied to join the Department of Wildlife and National Parks. And first I worked in Mahu, then I worked in Morin Game Reserve, and I got transferred to Central Kalahari Game Reserve to be the manager here.
Since when?
2001.
And how old are you?
I'm 36 years.
Oh, you look younger.
36 years.
Yeah, so you've been 7 years managing the Central Kalahari Game
Almost
Reserve.
8 years.
And you are also involved in designing the management?
Yes, I am the manager. At the end of the day, I'm the one who's supposed to see what is going on in this game reserve. So I am involved in taking decisions on what game reserve.
How about that? And so you were telling me that you are planning on reintroducing zebras.
Yes, we are putting more water holes in the game reserve, and we will introduce some of the species that were originally found here before we put up the fences.
Such as?
Zebra is one of them.
Which others?
Rhino also. At the moment, we are only thinking of the zebra and the rhino.
The black rhino.
The black rhino, yes.
That's awesome. But the Central Kalahari Game Reserve is not entirely fenced, is it? It's open in several fronts, not like the west. Is there a western fence?
No, there's only a fence on the northern side and the northeastern side. The west, the south, and the west-south is not. There's no fence there. It's not fenced.
So the animals can come and go.
The animals can come and go, including to other protected areas.
Uh-huh.
On the western side here, they do cross to Transfrontier National Park,
Uh-huh.
which is about 200 kilometers from Central Karoo Game Reserve.
So those fences, one is the cookie fence, right? The fence in the north.
There's one from Kukia to Peoria, yeah. That's the northern fence.
And then there's the northeastern fence,
There's the northeastern fence from Peoria Hoka to Setata End.
Setata.
Setata End.
Setata end. Oh, is that the Setata fence?
Yeah, that's the Setata fence, yes.
The Setata fence is on the east of the... Mm-hmm. And these are mostly veterinary fences, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Veterinary fences controlling diseases, disease, animal diseases, especially cattle diseases.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they were put there by Department of Veterinary Services,
Uh-huh.
not Department of Wildlife.
They are mostly cattle fences, aren't they?
They are.
Mm-hmm. And is there a project to link the Central Kalahari Game Reserve with the Magadi-Gadi Pans National Park
Not that I'm aware of.
to create a wildlife corridor?
At the moment, we are not thinking of any wildlife corridor between Makgadikgadi and Central Karoo Game Reserve.
But you are...
Because in between there, cattle post. There's just no way we can have a corridor there.
Well-
Remember, Makgadikgadi is also fenced now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So why? Because there is cattle post? Is that what you said?
There are some cattle posts there between Makgadikgadi and Central Kalahari Game Reserve. So there's no movement of animals between CKGR and Makgadikgadi at the moment.
Cattle post, what are that? What is that? A cattle post.
There's farms for cattle.
So you would have to buy the land and in order to make such a thing happen.
Yeah. So those are grazing areas for livestock.
Oh, I see. So the animals that live in the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, do they migrate?
They do, like I've said, they will migrate to Transfrontier National Park. They do go to Kutse Game Reserve, which is adjacent to CKGR.
But before they did used to migrate to the
They used
Okavango
to.
Delta, no? Or
Indeed,
to the Magadi-Gadi.
Before there were these fences, they used to migrate to Makgadikgadi National Park. But that was before the veterinary department put up the fences.
In what year was that?
I'm not sure the year, but it was in the 90s.
In the 90s. Mm-hmm. And do the animals in the park have the foot and mouth disease?
I'm not aware of any animal here in CKGR that was found with that kind of disease. You know, foot and mouth affect mostly for the wild animals, the buffaloes, but we don't have them here.
What happens to an animal when it gets foot and mouth disease?
Like I've said, here on this side, we have never had an animal with foot and mouth disease.
So you don't know what it looks like, what
But,
happens?
but if it is a wild animal, we let nature take its course.
Yeah. So that's the policy, the wildlife management policy here is, the strategy is no intervention.
No intervention.
Etosha also is no intervention.
After all, we have never had foot and mouth crossing to this side of the district. We only know of it here, of it in the Ngamiland district.
In the what?
Ngamiland
Ngamiland
district.
district.
That side of Mau. It has never crossed to Kranzi district.
Is there hunting in the Central Kalahari Game Reserve?
In Kranzi district, hunting is only allowed in private concessions.
Yeah, like the lodge out here, what's it called? The Gomo or something.
There's Tolo safaris, there's, what do you call the other one? Grassland safaris.
So just in private concessions,
That's in
not
private
inside.
concessions, no.
But is there any industrial activity like mining or anything other than...
You mean in Kranzi district or in CKG?
No, in CKGR. CKGR.
Yes, we will soon have a mine in Hope, very soon.
Mining what?
A mine, a diamond. A
Hope?
small diamond mine in Hope, yeah.
I hope that translates into more water holes for the CKGR.
No, where the mine is, actually very few animals. So we are not thinking of putting any water hole on that side of the game reserve.
But will there
few
be,
animals only.
will some of the profits from the mine be for the CKGR? Is that a possibility?
In terms of
Putting more water holes, to give you some money to upgrade the dreams that you have of introducing more animals and putting more water holes.
Well, I'd like to believe that anybody who comes here to work here or make some money has a responsibility towards conserving these animals. So I'm hoping that they will also help somehow with maybe putting up more water holes. I don't know, but I think they have some responsibility.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I don't know whether they will be able to. Well, I don't know what they are going to do, but I know that they will help some of the communities that are near them, because we do have Basaro communities near Hope.
Oh, you do? Like, they are San,
Same people,
aren't
yeah.
they? How many?
Not very sure, but not many people are there.
And are they living their traditional lifestyle, or are they living cattle herding lifestyle, or how do communities?
Well, they will tell you that they are living traditional lifestyle, but I personally don't think there is anything like traditional lifestyle at this time. My understanding of traditional lifestyle is hunting with bow and arrows, chasing animals, but those things are no longer happening. These people, they have guns, they have vehicles, they have horses, they have donkeys that they used to hunt. So that thing of traditional lifestyle is no longer there.
But do they have cattle?
No, they are not allowed to rear any cattle inside CKGR.
Okay,
but they do have goats, sheep, donkeys, horses, chickens, dogs. But cattle, no, they don't have cattle.
Okay. But so they are not dependent on hunting?
No, they are not dependent on hunting. Though they are given permits to hunt. But they are not entirely dependent on hunting.
They are the only ones who hunt inside.
Yeah. No, at the moment we don't allow any hunting inside. It was stopped in.
Not even them, the Basaro.
It was stopped in 2002.
Oh.
So they are given permits, but they should hunt outside.
Oh.
We don't allow hunting inside. It was stopped in 2002.
Well, as we are sitting here, I don't know if I got in the frame the tree behind us, but tell me your name again, please.
It's Hebe.
Ntsaebe. It's just so different from Juanita and Pedro and Pancho. So different from Mexican names.
Yeah, it's funny.
Ntsaebe? Ntsaebe?
It's Hebe.
Ntsaebe tells me that there is the carcass of what is it? A springbok?
Springbok.
Up in the tree, where that's next to where I'm gonna camp tonight, and it was obviously put up there by a leopard.
A leopard, yeah.
So you say that you have giraffes,
Yes.
leopard, lions. Do you have the
Cheetahs.
Do you have a population count of them?
Yes, we do estimate the number of animals in this game reserve. There are several methods that we use, but at the moment I can't tell you exactly how many animals we have in this game reserve.
What would you say are your main challenges as a manager of the Central Kalahari Game Reserve?
Fires in this area.
There is a fire now, by the way. We can see the smoke from here. Where is it?
At Deception, about 100 kilometers from here.
Deception, 100. And when did it start, this fire?
It started on Monday, that was on the 20th.
On the 20th?
Today's what is 22nd?
Yes.
Yeah, started on the 20th.
So how did it start?
At the moment we are not sure how it all started.
But normally how do fires start here?
Careless use of fire by the visitors
Oh.
is the one that is giving us a headache. Because most of the fires, if you look, they will start in the campsites.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where the visitors didn't put out the fire when they left, when they finally leave the campsite. But we also have fires that are coming from outside the game reserve.
Oh, yeah.
That are started by people outside the game reserve, and they end up in the game reserve. Despite that, we have made fire breaks around the sun, the game reserve.
And other than fires, what other challenges are you facing here?
The other challenge here is the predators that leave the game reserve to go and kill livestock and cattle post farms around the game reserve, especially lions. So they do get out, kill the livestock, and come back into the game reserve.
And that causes a problem with the neighbors?
Yes, with the neighbors, to the extent that they sometimes shoot these animals. So we have the numbers declining here in game reserve, inside the game reserve, because the farmers are killing them outside.
Oh, but isn't there enough food for the predators inside the game reserve?
There is enough food, but you see some cattle posts are just less than 5 kilometers from the boundary. So it's easy for the lions to catch the cattle than the wild animals.
Yeah.
So they will go after the wild animals. Even if you go along this fence here, you can see cattle around, along the fence here. It's easy for the lions to be tempted and go outside the game reserve and start killing those cattle.
So that fence is actually more effective preventing the cattle from coming in here,
In fact,
but not really preventing the wildlife from going out.
No, in fact, it was meant to stop the cattle from crossing inside the game reserve. It was not meant to stop the lions from crossing outside the game reserve. Because you know, the lions, they will dig under the fence.
Uh-huh.
And go outside.
But this fence, I hear that long ago this fence was very bad for migrations, but it seems that they can jump it and they can cross it. So how could it have been bad for migrations? I don't.
Yes, like I've said, there used to be migration of especially wild beasts and zebras from the Central Game Reserve to Makgadikgadi before these fences. Yeah. But after the fences, we had a lot of animals being caught in this fence because they couldn't jump over the fence. Especially we lost quite a number of wild beasts along this fence here. Because they know their routes, they know if it is this time we can find good grazing there, we can find good water there. So as soon as we put up the fences, we have blocked their migration routes.
Yeah.
So they died along the fence.
So
some of them were caught along in the fence.
If somebody gave you a lot of money for the CKGR and said, do your best, what would you do for the game reserve?
Increase the number of water holes in this game reserve. Put up more fire breaks in this game reserve. Because this is a huge area, but there are very few fire breaks inside the game reserve. So I'll put more fire breaks. I'll focus more on putting fire breaks in the game reserve.
Do they cause a lot of damage to the wildlife, the fire breaks?
Yes, they do.
I mean the fires.
No, not necessarily to the wildlife, but they destroy a lot of vegetation on which the wildlife depends on.
Oh.
And in that way, they force the animals to go outside the game reserve to look for food. But as soon as the animals go outside the game reserve, the lions will fall.
Yes.
But when they are outside, that's when they will start killing people's livestock, and you have a conflict there. Just this year, we had in August and September, more than 5 million hectares of this game reserve, more than 3 million hectares of this game reserve burned.
Ooh.
That's around 47% of this game reserve.
Oof. That's terrible.
So only about 53% of this game reserve was left. Now we have another fire that is eating that 53%.
Was this part burned?
This is the part that was not burned. Now we've just had a fire starting in this area. Because the other side, the northern side, it has all bent.
There are about 15 springbok coming to the waterhole at this moment. So, so what is a fire break? What does it look like?
It's just a road. You just grade a big road about 20 to 30 meters. Just open a big road 20 to 30 meters to stop the fire from crossing to the other side.
Is that very expensive?
It is quite expensive.
Yeah, how much does it cost?
It runs into millions and millions. We have put a fire break around this game reserve, which is around 900 kilometers. The diameter of this game reserve.
900 kilometers.
900 kilometers.
And you did it all.
And we put a fire break there.
All around.
20 meters. It didn't stop the fire.
It didn't.
It didn't stop the fire from crossing.
Oh. Yeah. So you need to make it wider.
We need to make it wider.
How wide?
But that cost us millions to put up that 20 meter fire break. So I think we've increased it to 30 to 40 meters.
And the water hole? What's the cost of a water hole?
No, this one's putting up a water hole is not that costly. What is costly is sinking the borehole. That's the one that is.
So if you put a borehole and a water hole, how much would it cost? Because I would like to do some of the proceeds from my book that I want to write, that I should be writing tonight, part of it. I would like it to go to Water for Wildlife.
At the moment, I'm not very sure how much that costs because the boreholes that we have here were actually sunk by Department of Water Affairs.
Were what?
Department of Water Affairs. So if we need boreholes here in CKGR, we tell Department of Water Affairs that we need some boreholes. Then they will come and sink them. I don't know how much that costs. Normally they subcontract it to private individuals to come and sink those boreholes.
Yeah, I would really appreciate if I'll send you an email so you can have an email, because it's a new idea and I have lots of new ideas, but I would like to raise some money to do a project called Water for Wildlife. So if I send you an email, maybe one day you can find out how much it costs, and then you can just send me a figure, just so that I can start putting together a little document, and maybe because I'm always doing projects and then I don't fulfill them all. This is not a promise, but it's a longing and a dream.
Okay. In fact, when we reviewed our management plan in 2000, there's a provision for additional 15 water holes in CKGR. But that was in 2000. Now it's 2008. We haven't even started even a single of them.
Oh.
Because we don't have enough money to put in to sink those boreholes.
Let me suggest that if this mining thing goes, you should tell them and ask them, please consider giving 1% of the money that the mine makes, 1%, to make water holes in the CKGR and to make fire breaks. Do you think you could do that? Or I don't know the system here. I don't know how it works, but
I don't know. Like I've said, they do have a responsibility. They know that they have a responsibility to do something here. So it's up to them.
I have to.
But they are aware of what our needs here. Maybe they will have. I don't know.
You know, this camera has this really neat feature that if you press this button here, you can do night shot, and then I'll be able to see. Oh, now you look very, very clear. Oops. But we still were doing well without the night shot. Let's see. That looks nicer. Let me just give a panoramic view of the CKGR at dusk. Sunset at the CKGR. With a very shaky camera woman. Okay. So these vegetarian sausages are not bad, eh?
No, they're not bad.
And any lions approaching?
No.
Leopard, I feel very safe with your presence here.
But you have to be on the alert at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep on looking around you. Because lions are very smooth when they walk.
Yeah, you know.
They don't make much noise when they walk.
And leopards, I guess also.
Yeah.
I once participated in a scientific expedition to capture a jaguar, to put a GPS and then release it. And we actually did manage to have a jaguar chase up a tree. She was a female, and the scientific team already had females more than enough. So they let her go. They didn't put a dart on her or anything. They just... So she climbed down the tree, and she jumped. But what was incredible is that she disappeared in 1 second without making a sound.
Yeah.
And the ground was covered with dry leaves. But the jaguar just didn't make a sound.
Those ones are smooth, just like a leopard. They're very smooth when they walk.
So you are going tonight to check out that fire?
Let's go there. But you can see the fire better when it is dark.
Oh, I see.
During the day you won't be able to see the extent of the fire.
Of course.
So that's why I'm just waiting for darkness. Then I can see how big the fire is.
I just want to tell you something before I forget. I am aware that I have asked you a number of very delicate questions. And I just want you to be absolutely sure that I would never do anything that would endanger your job or anything else.
Okay.
I'm going to put together a little movie, and I'm interviewing lots of people. So I give you my word of honor on record that I wouldn't put anything, well, you haven't said anything that would compromise your job, but I am aware I've asked some delicate questions, and I want you to know I wouldn't do anything that would damage your...
No, I know I haven't said anything that can put my job on.
Well, maybe now you can say a few things. Now that you have my word. No, just kidding, yeah? Just kidding. I don't know much about the situation in Botswana, but I know fences are a very delicate issue. But I was so glad to find that the activists are now working with fences instead of against fences. And many of them actually say that the fences have been good for wildlife, in the sense that they stop cattle from invading the Okavango Delta, for example, and that the way things are now, it's better to think of wildlife corridors. That's why I was asking you about wildlife corridors.
No, we don't have one between Makgadikgadi and Sikejara, but we do have wildlife corridors that we are planning between Sikejara and Transfrontier National Park. There are actually two wildlife corridors. Yeah.
How wide will they be?
I'm not sure at the moment how wide those corridors will be. Still something that has been discussed. We were thinking of 3, but now I understand there will be 2.
I'm starting to get a little bit worried, to be absolutely honest.
No, you don't have to. It is still clear. You can see.
I better finish up this version. Have some more.
No, I'm okay.
So these wildlife can travel from Namibia all the way to the CKGR. They would be able to, because it's a transfrontier park.
I don't know how far the Transfrontier Park is from Namibia. You know the Transfrontier Park?
Okay.
Part of the area is inside Botswana and part of the area is in South Africa. I don't know how far Namibia is from that area.
It's not part. It is with Namibia, no?
Huh?
Here. This is Namibia here.
Are you sure it's not South Africa?
This is South Africa. But I do know it touches Namibia. I've got a map of Namibia. I can show you.
I'm not sure if it touches Namibia. I thought it only touches South Africa. Because there used to be Kalahari Gamsbok National Park in South Africa. And Gamsbok National Park in Botswana.
We'll check it in my other map.
They joined the two areas to form the Transfrontier National Park.
Okay, so it does go from South Africa. Basically, the animals will be able to go from South Africa through Botswana all the way to the Central Kalahari Game Reserve.
They can, yes, they will.
Can they do that now?
Yes, they can. Yeah, they do that.
So
They
the
actually
corridor
do that.
exists.
It does exist. The corridor does. The migration, there is a migration route for animals between the Central Kalahari Game Reserve and the Transfrontier National Park.
So
It's already there. It's only that we want to protect that migration route by making it a corridor. For wildlife. Because
So it exists, but it's not
we have
legal.
farmers who wants to put cattle farms along those routes. We also have expanding settlements, so people need more space for grazing their livestock. And one of the things that they are pushing is to block those migration routes. So by protecting them as corridors, we'll protect those migration routes.
That's really good, but I hope that it happens soon.
It will happen. It will happen.
So what do you think is the main difference between the Moremi Game Reserve and the Central Kalahari Game Reserve?
First of all, the vegetation is quite different. They have lots of water on the other side in Moremi. We don't have water here. This part of the country is very dry. So we have few animals here that are water dependent. But in Moremi they have animals that are water dependent. They have buffaloes, elephants, hippos, crocodiles. We don't have them here.
Yeah, it's a different biome. This is an arid savanna, is it not?
It is an arid savanna, yes.
And when was did I ask you this question already? When was it declared a national park? Game reserve?
1961.
Oh yes, 1961. And have there been changes ever since?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Yeah, well, other than the ones that you have mentioned already.
But it was declared in 1961.
I'm feeling
To protect the animals that are and the plants that are unique to this area.
I'm feeling this very animal instinct of self-preservation right now. I think I'm just gonna wash the dishes and sort of get ready to jump in the car if it should be necessary. Let me just turn off this camera. And besides, it was all dark by now.